Hey everybody, it's your favorite traveler in the entire world, Imani B. I am finally back on YouTube. I was on here for a little while and then I decided to focus my content a lot on Instagram. So if you're here, welcome. If you've come from my Instagram, welcome. If you didn't come from my Instagram, you could definitely click the link and follow me. I'm almost at 20,000 followers. That is something that I'm actively looking to get to in 2022. So follow your girl. If you came from Twitter, if you came from Facebook, welcome. Those links are below as well. So follow me, say hello. Let me know what you thought about this video, because one of the things that I told myself as a goal for 2022, I wanted to get real serious about helping people do some of the things that I have been blessed and able to do. So that first thing is moving abroad. Now, if you're very unfamiliar to who it is that I am, then let me catch you up. My name is Imani Bashir. I'm originally from Prince George's County, Maryland. And in 2015, I was working in my career as a sports broadcaster, and I decided to buy a one-way ticket, move abroad to Cairo, Egypt. And I could say the rest is history, but there's obviously more to the story. I've had an amazing career in journalism, and I've been able to document my travels around the world. I've lived in 5 countries. I met my husband abroad. I gave birth abroad. And I have lived a very, very amazing life in this travel space. And I wanted to share it all with you. So starting off with how to move abroad with no money. Now, understand, number one, there's a lot of responsibility when it comes to moving abroad, okay? As many have called it, we're considered expatriates, right? Or expats, right? These are people who make the choice and have the privilege to go and move anywhere in the world. However, when I say no money, I don't mean absolutely $0. It is irresponsible for you to go to another place in the world, unless you're a refugee, unless you're seeking asylum, unless you are really in dire straits and needing to go to another place. But if you have the privilege and the access to be able to move to a different place, you need to have some kind of funds, because literally there are places around the world where people are doing what is called bag packing. And what that means is, and I wrote an article about it, is that people will go to a destination, not have enough money to get out, and pretty much panhandle their way out of the country. That's irresponsible. So when I say no money, I mean, typically people think that moving abroad is going to cost you a lot of money, that you have to have tons and tons of thousands of dollars saved in the bank and this and that. And no, that wasn't necessarily my journey. When I moved abroad to Cairo, I had $400 to my name. Yes, 400 US dollars. I left in August of 2015. I had $400. I did not have a job lined up, and I did not have my own apartment, right? So how did I survive? How did I make it? Almost 6 years into this journey, what did I do? Especially going somewhere where I had a very minimal understanding of the language. I am a Black American Muslim, and although, yes, definitely spoke Arabic in the home, Egyptian Arabic is a whole different dialect of Arabic. Turkish Arabic is a different dialect. Saudi Arabic is a different dialect. So, you know, when you go to a place, it'll really show you what you're made of when you have to learn the language. So the first thing that I would say, and especially this is, you know, very close to me, is that when I moved abroad, it is very important to at least know someone in the destination that you're going. And I'm speaking especially for women, especially for Black women, especially in terms of safety. It's important to know someone where it is that you're going and why. Number one, this person knows the lay of the land. They know, you know, the emergency contact numbers. They know how to get to the market. They know what time the water guy comes to drop off the water, or how fickle the Wi-Fi people are with setting up your Wi-Fi. Like this is the person that's your go-to, that's your need to know, that's your 21 questions. Or it's your person that if you run out of money, you're like, hey, can I borrow a little something? And that's happened to me. Living abroad, it happens a lot. You have an issue with your bank account at home, your card gets frozen, your card gets stolen, and you're like, oh my God, I just need a couple of dollars for food. You know what I mean? Knowing someone where you're going is highly important. For me, when I moved abroad, the person that I knew housed me. They allowed me to stay with them. They had a 2-bedroom one bathroom apartment. They allowed me to stay with them until I was able to find a job, get on my feet, etc., etc. So that was a great introduction for me to not have to spend any of my little $400 on, renting out somewhere, subletting a room, etc., etc. Make a plan for potential work. That's number 2. It's important that you identify, like, what are the things that I can do to make money in this particular place? Now, we're trying to be responsible as best as possible, right? So we're not looking to do anything that's taking jobs from the local economy, okay? We are not looking to do anything that is taking away local jobs, right? So if we're thinking about something like, for example, my first job was teaching English, but it wasn't just teaching English in terms of translation. I was literally teaching high school English literature, okay? I have a communications degree. I have a journalism degree. I'm obviously American. I read American literature. And so, therefore, it wasn't too far-fetched from what it is that I was doing in terms of my skill set as a broadcaster. I did definitely have to learn how to teach. Teaching is not for everybody. I love my kids, but I hated teaching, so there's that. But there are other different skill sets, especially now with the digital nomad age. You can freelance write. Did that. You can coach a sport. My husband's done that. You can do so many different things, and depending on whether you have a degree, whether you don't have a degree, your tier of degree, if you have a master's, a PhD, you can, coach or teach at a university level. And a lot of times when you find work specifically at, certain levels, they'll provide you with your housing and they'll pay your utilities. So you literally won't be coming out of pocket for those things. You will literally just only be spending your money on groceries or your day-to-day expenses. Get a return flight home just in case. Now, I am a true Sagittarius at heart, okay? I am a true Sagittarius. I'm the person that jumps out of the window and builds my parachute on the way down. But one thing that I recognized, which was slightly reckless of me when I first decided to just jump out there and buy this one-way ticket, was that in case of an emergency, I had nowhere to go. And we don't think about those things, but having actually lived in Wuhan, China, yes, my family and I lived in Wuhan, China, when COVID hit, it reminds me of that moment every single day when we were stuck in Malaysia because the borders closed and we had no way to get back to our apartment in Wuhan, right? So I would say get a return ticket, number 1, because now a lot of airlines don't have any change fees. And because all of these variants with COVID and all of these things are happening with, the spread of this pandemic, it's like, I don't think airlines are going to change that policy anytime soon. So if you buy a return ticket and you don't necessarily use it, you can always change it. You can always change it. You can always change the destination, and you can always change, the day, the time, whatever the case may be. Just try to make sure that it is within the line of the amount of the cost that you pay, or typically you have to pay the difference. And I would say if you do have a major credit card, use a major credit card instead, because it comes with, typically they come with automatic travel insurance. So double check with your credit card. And then the last thing that's important, that if you're going to move abroad and you damn near have nothing in your pocket lint, you have hardly anything on your card because you came with all the cash that you own in life, please make sure that you're moving somewhere or going somewhere where your currency can stretch. Please don't be trying to be out here with US dollars going to London because you're already at a deficit. British pounds are always going to be more than US dollars. They're the hierarchy, they're the head honcho. So if you're going somewhere like London, where typically, you see a meal that says 5 pounds, that's like 10 US dollars. You're already at a deficit. You're already starting off bad. So if you're going somewhere, like for example, I currently live in Mexico. Our dollar kind of fluctuates between 1 and 20 and 1 and 21, or just under 21. This is a good place to start in terms of, okay, I don't have a lot of money, but I need my money to stretch. I need my quality of life to be amazing, but for less than $1,000. And you can do that in a lot of places around the world. We did that in Egypt. We did that in China. We did that here in Mexico. We've done that in a lot of places in the world because the US dollar has typically been substantially higher and whatever local currency is potentially lower. So I just want to remind you guys, listen, I'm going to be doing these videos and I'm going to be giving you the how-tos. I'm going to be giving you the in the know of somebody who has literally lived around the world and has done it with nil to nothing, that has made their career around the world, that has met their spouse around the world, that has given birth around the world. And so I want to, and pretty much traveled with their child around the world. And so make sure you hit that bell for the next time I do a video. I'm going to make sure that I do weekly videos so that you have them. And also hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And make sure that you are locked in. And guess what? I definitely have an ebook that I wrote from top to bottom on what is it to be an expat, how to move abroad, and how to really do it. So click that link, get that book, and I'll see y'all next week. See ya.